Hello and thanks for tuning in. It's still ABR and my name is Titilaya Oyinson. It's time for us to take another trip into the world of a very fantastic personality. Who do we have with us today? Conquering the Asian movie market, we have Abbey Abimbola, famously known as Crackydon. Now, he's originally from Nigeria. He has appeared in movies, TV shows, and commercials, and he was born in the 80s in Osun State and lived quite a bit in Lagos. Now, he started his career in rap, but later developed his passion into acting, which brought him to many different countries around the world. And eventually, he began to pursue his dream career in Malaysia around 2013. After featuring in over 150 Nollywood movies, including a few movies written and produced under his own production company, he's acted in over 50 movies in the Asian market and its neighboring countries. He is the first Nigerian Seniman actor in the whole of Asia and also the first Nigerian FDAM, that's Film Directors Association of Malaysia, director in the whole of Asia. Goodness me. Let me just add one more to this cap. He is the first MYPW wrestler and stuntman in the whole of Asia. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
A lot of notches in your belt. A lot of feathers in your cap. You know how they say in Hollywood, there's always one black guy in a Hollywood movie? Now, this is always the only black guy in the Asian movies.
And I love that.
You love it, right?
I love the fact that you put it out like that.
That's exactly how it is.
And I thank God for that.
Honestly, there's a lot to talk about. But the truth is, it's a market that not a lot of people go into because it's intimidating.
Very, very.
Language barriers, cultural barriers, the color of your skin.
You have to put all of that in check.
So you need to talk to us about how this all started. Let's talk about how you even went to Asia in the first place, and then how you got onto the movie scene.
Okay, let me start from telling about my name. You've already said it, but I'm just going to make it quick now. My name is Abbey Abimbola, famously known as Crackydon. I started acting since about 20 years ago now. You know, I started acting as a Nollywood movie actor. And, you know, doing a lot of movies in Nigeria, and, you know, I've done over 150 movies. And checking back into my account, and, you know, I'm like, what is going on with me? I've been working, you know, even when I go out there, people started calling me, hey, American Lollipop, man, you have to give us money. You know, this kind of, all these our lovers out there that, you know, when they want to appreciate you, the best way they appreciate you is like, oh, you're going to give us money. I keep on giving this money. And yet my bank account is still like, you know, Nollywood movie industry is just like you scratch my back, I scratch your back. So I wasn't that happy enough. And I'm like, okay, I think I need to think out of the box. Right. So I said to myself, Abe, you need to do something else. And for the fact that I love Indian films, so I choose to travel to India. But, you know, the agent that did my visa for me, I was stuck in Malaysia to say. Wow. So after getting to Malaysia, I realized it was another ball game on its own. The first I needed to do is, how do you pay your bills? First. Because it's like, there's no free thing over there. You pay for your water bill, you pay for your light bill, you pay for this bill, you pay for that bill. So acting of a thing is totally out of my target then. I'm talking about 2013 that I made it over there in Malaysia. So after doing this, I think when I got myself a little bit, then 2014, I decided, like, okay, I think, Abe, what you are doing before, you're not doing it again. You need to go back to your game. Okay. So I started going for different auditions. But guess what? Just like you said before, the language barrier, you know, going for different auditions and I cannot communicate with all these people. They're like, sorry, you check up Malayu. And I'm like, I tatau how to check up Malayu. Check up Malayu is like, can you speak Malay? And I'm like, where would I learn this? And they said, okay, we have somebody who can translate what you're saying. They can speak English. Then after that, you know, when I was being auditioned, so they asked me, Mr. Crack, what kind of mixed martial art background do you have? And I'm like, mixed martial art. In Nollywood, they do film. I talk, I fight, I do a lot of things. And they're like, sorry, that's not what we meant. I mean, can you fight in a movie? Can we give you some sequence? Can you jump from this place to that place? Can you give us some movement like that? And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. So they said to me, sorry, your expression was right. The way you deliver your lines, very okay. But excuse me, the silat part of the movement part of it is very, very poor. If you know you want to be part of movie industry in Malaysia, you can go and learn mixed martial arts.
Okay.
And
so that was it.
That,
you reached a turning point. You'd got everything right up to that point. So you decided to go for training.
I have got no choice because I got passion for this work because this is what I love doing, and I see myself like I can't even do anything better. I can't do anything better than filmmaking or entertainment. So I said to myself, Abbey, you need to go and learn mixed martial arts. Okay. So learning the mixed martial, I had a friend then, may his soul rest in perfect peace now. His name is Keishan because this is he was a very good friend of mine. You know, he's seen some of my Nollywood movies, and he said, Abbey, you're not too old to go and learn mixed martial arts. So when I started learning this mixed martial art, I said to myself, Abbey, you got a very nice physique. You know, even without knowing the mixed martial art, when I go out, people always say, oh, you do mixed martial art. Yeah. That's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see me, like, it's got a very nice body. And I'm like, okay, I think mixed martial art is not the problem. Because if I do mixed martial art, it's just like normal thing that people are doing over there. Like, of course, you are a black guy, you should be able to do So I said to myself, Abbey, you need to do something else. And I did my research, and I get to know there's this cultural fight in Malaysia. They call it Silat.
Silat?
Yes, Silat. S-I-L-A-T.
Okay.
So Silat is like, it's a kind of fight that we do in Malay. It's a cultural fight for Malays.
So it's not like Kung Fu. It's not like Jiu-Jitsu.
Taekwondo. No, it's not like that.
Okay.
Kung Fu is meant for the Chinese.
Okay.
So Silat is actually meant for Malays.
Okay.
And I think in Indonesians they do the same thing because in the likes of this guy Iko Uwais, Tony Jaya, all these guys, they do Silat as well. We have different kind of Silat. We have Arimau in Silat. We have Pencak Silat. So Pencak Silat is what I do. Arimau is like the tiger one that they always fight with their claws.
With their claws. Okay,
exactly.
I've seen that.
But for us, it's just like normal Ormat kind of thing.
So it's like a dance, right?
It's like thank you very much.
So is it like a flow? It's like a flow, like a kind of smooth flow, like a rhythmic dance.
Exactly.
But then, anytime you hear martial arts, you tend to think of fighting, aggression, like attacking, you know. But then I know that there's some Asian martial arts that are more about, just being in touch with yourself. So which type of martial arts is this? Is this the aggressive type?
No, this is not, because even like I said before I was even introduced to this, like, they made me understand. You look very tough, because when you see me, you think I am tough. So my sifu, like, I don't want to teach you because you look very tough. Maybe you're trying to avenge or you're trying to revenge or something. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I just want to learn this for film making. I'm not even doing it as a profession, as it's not my profession.
Okay.
I don't want to do it for that. So
you're not competing.
Not competing. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So it's just for film making. But ours is like when you want to do Silat, the first thing you put first is Ormat.
Okay.
Ormat is like respect. Even when someone trying to attack me, I can still go down on my knee like, I'm sorry, please, just forgive me.
Okay.
Because it's all about peace. Okay. So we don't do it. You will never see any Silat any Silat artist being aggressive.
Okay.
We don't do it. Even when I want to bring you down, it's still like I'm still gonna be like, take it easy with me, take it easy. I'll only be defending myself.
Okay.
Out of defending myself, I can hurt you.
Okay.
So it's like that, and the other one is like this MMA. MMA is very, very aggressive. It's still mixed martial art. That's the short form.
Yes.
It's the aggressive one because they are competing, just like you said. It's like do or die. If you don't do it, your opponent will bring you down. So you've got no choice than to go after your opponent. So after I spent about 6 months, it was supposed to be 6 months, but then because of the love between me and my sifu, my master, and he said like, Abbey, you can't go now because all my students, all my disciples, they love you. Every event we attend, you're always the best. I spent a year. But while I was doing all this, I was actually learning the language because it's in my head already. Because when I got there, there's this racism over there.
Okay.
Even in the lift, they will cover their nose like you're smelling, like you're stinking.
Wow. So,
but if they come into the lift and you were able to communicate with them like, Apakaba. So the minute you speak the language, they look at you like, oh, you check out Malayu. You check out Malayu. That has already bring one connection between you guys. Like, it's more or less like our brother, so we don't have to discriminate against him.
Okay.
So that has been registered in my head already. So while I was learning the Silat of a thing, so I was learning the language.
Okay.
So after doing that, and I bounced back into the industry, all my auditions, if I went for 5 auditions, I'll be selected for 4.
Amazing.
So
because you learned the language.
I learned the
because
language.
you got the silat correct.
Everything.
You got it. So this is a heavy investment. This is a 1 year of your life where you are training, and based on the fact that you were not really doing auditions during that time, that means that you had to use other things to fend for yourself.
Definitely.
So once you got there, what sort of jobs did you have to go into to fend for yourself?
Over there's this thing that I shot before, even before going into the silat of a thing. I was a YouTuber then.
Okay.
So I get paid online because there's this movie I produced in 2014 when I wasn't accepted. It was a drama because I just want to prove to them that I know what I am doing. I can act. But in that movie, in that drama, it's called Power of a Woman. Power of a Woman was shot, and I was releasing it every Friday. Every Friday.
So you had shot it already?
I have.
Okay. So that was what you were releasing, and then of course proceeds from YouTube.
Definitely, I'm getting back. I was getting something then because I was thinking I was a full-time YouTuber then.
Okay.
Because I had no choice. Yeah, I was thinking.
I don't think there's past tense of a YouTuber because YouTube is always there. It's ever constant. Whenever you go onto YouTube, it feels like they just did it just now. Everything still seems fresh and new. So I think you still have some YouTuber in you. Because we saw some of those clips, some of them really good. We did our research.
So
we did.
Wow, thank you so much. But I just don't see myself doing it full time anyways. It's just to put my record out there. Like if people are searching for my name, okay, when you go to the YouTube, you can actually see some of the things that I have done for myself.
Fantastic. Speaking of things you've done for yourself, you created a space in a place where there was almost no space. You mentioned racism just now.
Yeah.
And that is a big battle that a lot of Africans around the world are dealing with. You need to talk to us a little bit about that, especially on arrival. How were you able to manage the racism before you started learning the language?
It wasn't easy, trust me, especially when they are trying to ask you something and you're looking at them like, what are you saying? They feel offended. They feel insulted because they don't know if you can speak their language or not, but their own mindset is like, you're living in our country. It's a must for you to learn our language. If you cannot speak our language, then pack your bags and go back to your country.
Wow.
That's the way they say it. So, but out of this racism of a thing, so I came up, the minute I finished learning my silat course, so I came up with this idea of this movie titled One Blood. One Blood is about racism also. So I put everything I've been through from these people, I put everything in that movie, One Blood. So, and after I learned the language, going for different auditions, and they knew what I can do, man, I think it wasn't that hard for me again. So
let's talk a bit about support from other Africans. There are definitely other Africans there. They say there's no place where you won't find a Nigerian.
There are a lot of them over there.
Now, I know that when people go abroad, they go abroad for different reasons. But you had a dream. Greener pastures, but then they do different things. You went there with a mindset that, yes, you have skills, you have a background in something, you want to be a success in it. But that doesn't essentially mean that there will be supporters.
Trust me.
Yeah.
It's more or less like zero support from my people.
Zero?
I'm telling you.
Not even 1%? Not even 1%?
I would say 1% because of a brother that stood by me.
Okay.
Because of a brother. But aside from that, trust me, you're on your own. They call it OYO. Even they know, because even when I got to Malaysia, some of them knew, Crackydon is around because, like I told you before, I've done a couple of movies and I got a lot of fans over there. So the minute I got there, they know Crackydon is in the building. So some of them, the only love I was shown was just the first day, the second day. After that, when I wanted to pay my bills or things like that, they're like, oh, sorry, they don't answer your call again. You call so many of them, they just like, sorry, you're in this country, you're on your own. You have to do your things on your own. And not only that, even till this moment that I'm talking to you, I got more support from Malaysians, Chinese, Indians, more than my people over there. Because if I post anything on my social media, before you see one Nigerian support my stuff, I must have gotten 1,000 Malaysians supporting me.
Wow.
Even they knew I'm the only guy, because in Malaysia, as we speak, I am still the first FDAM director in the whole of Asia. FDAM is Film Directors Association of Malaysia. Okay. No black man has ever been given this opportunity. I am the only one with this card, and I have Seniman card. Seniman is like AGN, ANTP kind of. So I'm the first guy In the whole of Asia, I'm still the first wrestler under my PW.
Wow.
Everything I am doing on my page, it's not as if I think we have close to 200,000 Nigerians in Malaysia. You will hardly see 2 or 3 of them acting like they even knew someone exists, like Crackydon.
Wow.
Despite everything, because over there, you get to see my movie. You get to see my movies on TV, TV2, TV1, TV2, TV3. Astro is like Africa Magic. Yeah. We have all kind of channels over there. Yeah. My movie goes to the cinema every now and then. I choreograph a lot of movies for them over there. But then you won't see any of my brothers acting like, oh, let me even go out there to support my brother in the movie, in the cinema.
Okay. And you, despite this response from your own brothers, despite that, you kept pushing. So what was the ginger? How were you able to keep it all going? It's a really heartbreaking thing when you don't get support from your own people. But there had to be something that was pushing you.
Because I see them like a distraction.
Okay.
Because I don't want them to distract me. Because one thing about this life, I believe, if you don't give up on yourself, people will never give up on you. It's more or less like what I'm doing right now. I'm pushing Blackout, the movie, right now. Because when I started this whole process, nobody was supporting me. You know, everybody supported you. 1 day, 2 days, they're gone. But the consistency, the perseverance. So when they see that this guy is not giving up. So some of them were first to come back like, but we are proud of you. You are our brother. Then they will start posting for you. That means you left them with no choice. The only thing I say is I always believe it. Whatever my mind and my heart can conceive, I always believe this is achievable for me. So I always believe it. Once I believe it, I will definitely receive it. So, and that is what I think, these Asian people, this is what they saw in me. Like, okay, this guy is not giving up. If I do anything right now, I'm going to put it out there. And I'm always making sure that I encourage people like, okay, don't give up on yourself. If you know this is the only thing you've got for yourself, just keep pushing.
Okay.
So I don't let them distract me. That's why I call them distraction. So you support me or not,
you let it go?
I let it go.
I'm so pleased that you came to come talk to us today. I really want to hear about the choreography aspect. Because in the Hollywood sense of things, choreographing fight scenes and stunt scenes is very important. Yep. First of all, is it as important in Asia to them as it is in like Hollywood? That's one. Then two, how were you able to learn how to choreograph other people?
It is just as tough as Hollywood because they do the same. The stunt is the same everywhere. It's just the way we go about it or whatever you have in your head. Like, okay, because for me, I always want to do something that no one has done it before. It's more or less like the kind of fight that Tom Cruise does. I don't want to do the same thing because we don't have the same mixed martial art background. If I want to do something, I want to choreograph a fight now, I'll choreograph my fight in a silat kind of way. It's not going to be like Hollywood, but we are still doing the same thing. Just like this Uko-US that I mentioned just now. The Raid was released in 2017, 16, something like that. Okay. So this movie was released in Asia, in Indonesia. Believe me, Hollywood bought into this movie. You know why?
Wow, okay.
Because of how they went about their fight. Because they don't let it look like Hollywood. Okay. But when they want to come out with this two of this movie, they make it look like Hollywood. That's to tell you, you have to be yourself. And that is exactly what I'm doing. Because after I must have learned my fight, you know, I knew a lot of secrets. The secret behind it as a filmmaker is not just choreographing the fight. One thing is you choreograph the fight. Another thing is how do you want your artists to position themselves in front of the camera? So you might be able to receive my punch because when I'm fighting with you or when I'm choreographing the fight with you, you have to be able to take 20% of my punch,
okay,
or 10% of it. Okay. If you cannot take that, that means you're not qualified to be an actor or be a mixed martial artist.
So these hits, they connect.
It's a must.
It has to connect.
But we call it stop shot.
Okay.
Even if I had to use my leg, it has to be a stop shot.
Yeah.
Stop shot, but then you still receive few percent of whatever I'm giving to you.
Okay.
So that is why you have to know when I'm coming with you, when I'm training with you, or when I'm working with you, the eye contact is very important. Sometimes I might miscalculate my move. So, but if you are connected with me, you can position your body for me. It's like you want to punch me now. And you don't even know where you're coming at. But for me, I can, if I was able to communicate with you, I can use my shoulder to just brush it down.
Okay.
So that's to tell you I am working with you. That is why it's very important that when you have people that you train with, it becomes so easy.
Okay.
Because when I was shooting Blackout, the movie in Nigeria also, I was totally messed up because of my fighters. They really tried. I'm not trying to discredit them. But then I couldn't achieve everything I wanted. So I had to go back over there, work with my team. The team that we train together every time. You know, working with them was just like fun. It's just like normal thing that we do, like we train every day and we achieve everything.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about your team now. What sort of team staff strength were you able to develop over there to keep your brand growing? Because you've seen a lot of growth. I think you're on over 500,000 followers on Instagram now.
Alhamdulillah for that. Yeah, I think I do.
But you know, that is a lot of work.
Alhamdulillah.
That's a lot of work, and you're not talking even about the Nigerian market here. In Nigeria, we know how we get our followers.
70 to 80% of my followers are people over there. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. And I find that amazing. I find it so interesting. But there has to be a team behind how you look, how you sound, interviews and appearing on set on time. So how were you able to find the right team?
Firstly, I told you about this guy called Keshan, but it's late now. May his soul rest in peace. So this guy stood by me even before I was accepted in that industry. Don't forget, I told you, it's not easy. They didn't accept me. But this guy stood by me and said, Abe, go and learn this. And the minute I finished learning mixed martial art and Silat, he produced a movie then titled Local Boys. So I was the villain in this Local Boys. From there, I started getting my recognition. So from there, I started getting my recognition. And after that, that has connected me to so many Malaysians. Okay. They're like, there's one black guy doing Silat in Malaysia. And whenever I train, I always do rehearsal with my boys. Okay. You know, when I do the rehearsal, we post it. So people has already, the target is on this black guy already. Like, who is this black guy doing Silat in Malaysia? So that has connected me to a lot of people. But the first day that I wanted to register myself as a seniman artist, so I met this guy called Dato Subash. Dato over there is like millionaire. It's a title. Wow. So Dato Subash, and he said, bro, I have seen the trailer of your movie, Blackout, man. I would love to work with you. So this guy became my friend. So from there, it became my blood. Then we are, till this moment, I think it's,
what?
No one has ever done so much for me like this guy.
Wow.
And aside from that, I have this other guy who has been my agent forever, as long as I can remember. This is another guy. His name is Geoff. So these two guys, whoever is beside them, I don't see them as my team. Okay. I have a team, of course, but these two guys that I'm talking about, these two guys are everything for me.
Wow.
The other one is agent. It's an agent over there. He got a lot of jobs for me. As in a month, I can get 5 different movies.
Wow.
That will be lining up from this guy because he's an agent. So, and this other guy who is Dato Subash, that I said is a millionaire, he produces movies. So these guys, they keep me going, and they support me, they motivate me. Like, guy, you can. We've seen what you have done, and they stood by me. All my projects, you will always see them in the movie.
I'm so glad you were able to give them that accolade and that shout out, because you know that a person is only as strong as their team. And now you decided to pop back home after the struggle, after the hustle, after everything you've achieved over there in that beautiful country. You've seen the other side.
Yeah.
And then you still want to bring content back home. You still want your people to watch your movies. You still want to produce with your people. What inspired that move to come back home with this particular film? What's the name of the film again?
Blackout.
Blackout, yes.
Actually, when I was coming back to Nigeria, my thing was just, I just want to come back to Nigeria and do something, because in my head, because I told you, we produced few movies, and, I could remember one social media, reposted the movie, and it was this, very big social media. So after that, I saw some comment like, this guy is trying to be like Jackie Chan. Instead of people encouraging me, like, this guy is really doing good outside Nigeria.
Wow.
Even with the white people that I shot this movie with, all I could go online was, this guy is trying to do like Jack Chan. Do you think you are Jet Li? And I got discouraged in my head. I'm like, Abe, you better don't dare action in Nigeria. So I got, as in, trust me. So coming back to Nigeria, I wanted to work on another project titled Nelayan. But in the hotel that I lodged as far back as 2018, behind my room, there was this generator making this big noise.
Oh, no.
Then I said to myself, Abbey, you need to do something different.
Wow.
So now I changed my script. I started working on the new script. That took me about a month plus to finish the script. I titled the movies Blackout, because in Nigeria, I feel we have a lot of great filmmakers that they can talk about this, but I don't know if they are scared. I don't know if they just don't think about it. And I came up with this Blackout of a movie, because Blackout is about electricity. It's about the situation. You know, we have 200 million people in Nigeria, and we're depending on 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts of electricity when we have the potential to generate over 12,000 megawatts. Why is it that Nigerians, we have to depend on generator every time? I put all these things together and I'm like, okay, this is the story I'm going to work on. But for the fact that I knew in my head that Nigerians, they are not used to action. If you give them too much of action, they'll be like, oh, why can you do better than Nollywood? So that's why I came up with this story, like, okay, Blackout is what you can relate with. I can relate. We grew up Nepa, knowing about Nepa and things like that. So that's why I said, okay, this is the project that I'm going to work on. And, you know, Nollywood is still my second home, because Nollywood has brought me this far. Because without the Nollywood experience, I wouldn't be accepted over there. They won't even tell me, oh, we love the way you act, we love your expression.
So it all started here. So you decided
to
bring it home.
Bring it back home.
Okay, so did you involve anybody from Asia in any of the production aspect of what you did for Blackout?
Definitely.
Okay.
Like I told you before, all the drama in Blackout was shot in Nigeria. All the stunts, everything shot over there in Malaysia. So I featured Geoff, I featured Dato Subash. All my friends, all the boys that are always trained with me, I put every one of them in the movie.
Amazing.
And it, of course, it costs more. It costs bomb over there.
As if you knew where I was going next. I was going to talk about money, because it's tough enough shooting in one country, but multiple locations, multiple actors, all these guys need to be paid. You know.
Aside from that, we even insure them.
In Malaysia, you insure them. Did you insure them here?
They didn't ask for that. Because when I called you want to work with me in the university, that, oh, how much are you paying me? 500,000, 400,000. They didn't even talk about insurance. I'm like, okay.
Wow. Okay. So, all right. But abroad, definitely that's a big factor, and that's an issue. So for instance, if you were invited to come and do a martial arts scene here in a Nigerian movie for another producer, you would request insurance?
Definitely. I will.
Okay.
As if I knew they got the budget. If someone trying to grow, someone who is trying to grow and I see the passion in them, definitely I will help without demanding for so much. But if I knew someone with big budget or a big company, I'm sorry, I'm definitely.
I like that.
Definitely. I will.
So I have to say though, you know, there's so much that needs to improve, so much that needs to change, and quite a lot of bodies are coming up with things such as insurance for talent as well, you know. But then you also have to think about things like your health. So abroad, if, for instance, you get injured, you know that you're going into a hospital, you know, it's going to be taken care of. So there are those doubts if you came to come and do any of those types of scenes here. So this must be a little bit discouraging for you when it comes to working in Nigeria.
Actually, Nigerians, I think they don't do so much and they don't take so much risk like that.
Okay.
Because compared to what we do over there, I don't know if you've seen any of my stunts. There was a stunt I was doing on a moving container truck.
Me.
So, can you invite any Nigerian to come and do that for you? No. While I was shooting Blackout, one of my stuntmen was flying down and he miscalculated one of his moves. Can you even dare to ask any Nollywood actors to do that for you? No. So in Nollywood, even our cameramen, sorry, I'm not trying to discredit them.
Yes.
Some of our cameramen will just sit on the tripod and just stand still like that. Because they knew it's just going to be close-up shot, long shot, medium shot, POV, and that's all. Over there, our cameramen, they work much more than the actors. Because if you move around, they move with you. The DOP works faster than the actors over there. So here in Nigeria, most of our shots, we take so many static shots, and, you know, we're doing really good in terms of locations, costumes, cars that we use. Man, it's really, really improving, the lighting and everything like that. But then the movement is not there yet. So
now, let's say you're given the opportunity to change something about Nollywood. There's so many things that need to be changed. But you have the opportunity to come here. You're given, let's say, a blank check. What is the first thing you would adjust in Nollywood?
We talk too much.
Talking in the scripts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Indians, they talk. But then, why do you think our people like to watch, I don't want to promote this on this, Z something. Yeah. They talk. It's not as if they don't talk, but straight to the point. Straight to the point. Okay. It's not as if I was going from the studio and I had to explain how I got it there. No, they don't do that. You can talk, but straight to the point. Straight to the point. It's like this guy, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can count how many dialogues he's got in Terminator or one of the movies like that.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing I do in Blackout. If you watch Blackout, the movie, I think I can count how many dialogues I've got in this movie. But you can't underestimate my character in this movie.
Okay.
Because there are so many ways we go about it. It's not about talk. It's not about you trying to be more explicit about something like that. We do a lot of tautology. Tautology is too much. Yeah. So I feel I will change that and I will go straight to the action.
Okay, so what about from the organizational point of view? I'm talking about corporate bodies, organizations that are, have been put together to help build Nollywood as an industry. So if, for instance, you had the opportunity to be, let's say, a president or vice president of one of those organizations meant to build the industry, what would you do? What mandate would you carry?
Just like I told you before, what inspired this story is actually very similar to what you asked now. So let's start from this point of view. As we are on this program now, I'm sure there's one thing running behind this company that is still keeping us like this. So that is that if I was to do anything, I think the first thing I will demand is adequate of power supply.
Okay.
Because you can imagine if we have adequate of power supply, we will have less stress. Okay. Over there's this thing they call finance. The finance is like the central government agency for the film industry over there. Over there, they invest more into filmmaking than any other businesses. You know why? Because they believe filmmaking is their face. This is what represents them, and that's why if you see any of their producers producing something bad, they'll be like, "Oh, this movie is a big slap on our face."
Okay.
So that is that electricity is very, very important for me. So I think I will just bounce on that and I'll change the electricity. Give me electricity first.
All right. So I remember when the NSAS protest happened in 2020, and when that happened, we saw a lot of young people come up, and there were already electricity solutions for the people that were at the toll gate during the peaceful protest, peaceful aspect of the protest, where they were performing, where they were, when there was a lot of concerts and people were sharing food and all that, there was somehow power supply right there. So it does feel like there are solutions. We just need to figure out how to make it more available for
us.
I have to say a big thank you to you for coming to talk to us today. So you said the movie Blackout is out in cinemas when?
It's going to be held on the 29th of October, which is this month.
Okay.
So nationwide.
Right.
I just want everybody to go out there and support this movie.
Any notable names that we can look forward to seeing?
We have Shegun Arinze.
Oh, amazing.
Ayomogaji.
Amazing.
Shotayo. Enolaja Omofia Folabi. And the likes.
All right. And of course yourself. You pop in there.
Abbey Abimbola first.
I like that. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So everybody's looking forward to seeing this, especially since you've been away for quite a while and you've decided to come home. Can't wait to see what else you're going to put out there. And we should talk again when your next set of films and possibly your martial arts school opens sometime soon, because I feel like that's going to happen sometime soon. Am I right? You're right. Thanks so much for tuning in to this conversation. We've had the amazing Abbey Abimbola in the studio. He's also known as Crackydon. They call him Crackydon all over Asia. And if you're not familiar with him, you should go check him out online at
CRACKYDON. That is Crackydon.
On Instagram.
On Instagram, Facebook, everywhere.
Make sure you stay tuned. There's still quite a lot coming your way on Africa Business Radio. Hook up with us on Twitter at Africa Biz Radio, and of course Africa Business Radio on Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn. And if you have any questions, contributions, or you'd like to be a part of the platform, just reach out to us on our website. That's africabusinessradio.com. can't wait to hear from you. Thanks so much, Crackydon, for coming to talk to us.
I'm highly honored. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, everyone, and keep listening.